Go, jump!
You have so much to live for!
I'm millions of dollars in debt.
Oh. Do it! Jump! 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 Oh!
I have no money. What do I do? I have enough. I earn enough. I can't seem to have enough money to save. How do I keep track of it? And how do I spend it on what I want?
I couldn't help but overhear your problem, and I have the perfect solution for you.
Really? What is it?
Simple. Have you ever heard of this thing called budgeting?
No. What is it?
Budgeting is simply a plan. It'll help you make the best possible use of your money by identifying sources of income and helps you plan your spending.
Well, that makes sense, but why should I budget? It seems like a lot of work.
Why? Why? Because it's the smart thing to do. Anyway, it can help you reach any goals you have.
But when could I budget?
When do you deal with money?
All the time.
Well then, you can and should budget anytime.
Wow, budgeting sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, wait. How exactly do I budget?
Well, first off, budgets can cover varying periods of time depending on how you want to plan. But there are 3 major steps to creating a budget.
So, do I have to know exactly how much I have to start with?
Yes, you need to estimate your income and see how much you'll have to have available after, say, taxes and Social Security.
What next?
Now, you need to estimate how much you'll spend. Set aside money for major expenses like a mortgage or insurance if you have those. Next, you allot your money for things like food, clothing, transportation, and recreation, to name a few.
How do you decide how much you'll spend for each?
It all depends on your priorities. Will you eat only ramen noodles for a while to save money for that new car? Or will you eat filet mignon and keep your old car?
I might have to give up one thing to have another, so I can stay within my budget and my means.
One last thing. You need to record and write down your plans and what you actually spend after the fact. You can use a budget form as simple as this one, or as detailed as this one. Just fill it out and follow your plan.
Great! So, if I don't end up spending as much as I budget, then I can alter it, right?
Yes, you can always alter your budget as you figure out what you spend and how you need to control what you spend.
Awesome! I'm gonna go budget right now.
Great! Just don't forget to stick to your budget and you'll be fine.
Well, budgeting is terrific. It really helped my son learn to save for specific goals, and it also taught him a lot about money management too. You want to tell him about your Zuzu pet?
Sure, Daddy. Okay, one day we were in the mall, and I thought that there was a Zuzu pet, and we went to Tommy's one day a couple weeks ago, and we played with his Zuzu pet for a couple hours. That was really fun. So I asked Daddy if I could have a Zuzu pet if he paid for one. He said, money doesn't grow on trees. So I asked Daddy how long it would take to allowance. Yeah, it's called an allowance. How many allowances it would take to pay for the Zuzu pet?
And I told him about 6 weeks because he gives 25% of his charity, or 25% of his allowance to charity, and 25% he saves for college. That's my boy.
Thanks, Daddy. So I saved and saved and saved and saved and saved and saved and saved until I had enough money to pay for my Zuzu pet. I can't tell you how many times I was in the mall looking at stuff and there was like a piece of gum or a little ice cream bar over there. I was like, oh, I could buy one. But then I decided to save. Dad calls that budgeting. Dad calls that budgeting. I'm so glad I saved for that toy. I love my Zuzu pet.
Way to go.
I'm here with Mr. Money, editor of Money Magazine, here to talk to us about the importance of saving money and budgeting. Mr. Money, you've managed to overcome adversity and poverty and amassed quite the fortune. Care to tell us how?
Well, I try not to brag, but as you can see, I have a lot of money. Take some. Alright.
Thanks. So, what exactly are the secrets behind your fortune?
Well, there's nothing really to it, to tell you the truth. Becoming rich is as simple as knowing when to spend money or when to invest in an economy. What's important to remember is that you don't get distracted with your expenses. Don't waste money on something that's not necessary. Such as, well, here's one example. A couple years ago, I got the chance to buy a yacht pretty cheap. And instead of buying that stupid yacht, I decided I would get a canoe. Because of the money I saved, I have a whole fleet of canoes, around 25.
25 canoes, wow, good for you.
Thank you.
So, what exactly do you attribute your success to?
Well, obviously, I owe my mom, my dad, God, my dog Blake. He was real big for me. But most importantly, I would say that budgeting is what I owe the most to. If you budget carefully, you will save money and possibly even become as rich as me, though I highly doubt it. So always remember, please try to budget. It saves lives.
Meet Joe. Recently, Joe has lost everything dear to him. His house was taken by the bank. His wife hightailed her booty out of his life and left him. His car was just repoed several minutes ago, and now he's left with nothing. All because he failed to budget. Simple, easy steps can make a huge difference. If you are currently in debt or on your way there, do not wait. Budget now. Don't be Joe. Be free.
Are you in debt? Are you currently on your way to being in debt? If so, stay tuned for this explosive new creation that will blow your mind away and possibly save your life.
Hi, I'm Billy Mays, and I'm introducing you today the greatest creation of this era. Thank you for Dummies Incorporated for paying for this commercial and for the production. I now present to you Budgeting for Dummies. It will teach you all you need to know about budgeting in order to relieve yourself of debt and manage your life better. Budgeting for Dummies. Do it.
So, Mr. John Kerry, tell me about budgeting.
Well, budgeting is quite amazing, I must say. It's definitely necessary to be able to live successfully. Successful families are the ones who budget. That's how you get ahead in life.
Yes, but what is budgeting exactly?
Well, it is important to have for good money managing, you know, and it is vital for a growing economy.
Yes, but what is it?
Well, it's important for every good American to budget, so why don't I ask you what budgeting is?
Well, it's having a plan for what you're going to do with your money and how you're going to spend it and save it and what you aren't going to spend money on.
Now that there is excellent. You are a fine American citizen.
So, should Congress go about budgeting?
Well, like you said, I would make sure that I spend it on the right things and not on the wrong things.
Wow, that was really deep. But do you think that you could maybe be a little more specific?
Well, you know, spending on the important things like business. Because without businesses, there aren't any jobs. And without any jobs, the people are jobless.
Right.
And you shouldn't spend it on things that will cost you too much, and then you won't be able to properly fund anything.
But isn't that the opposite of what you guys are doing in Congress right now? The Congress isn't cutting taxes on businesses, and you're spending money on things that cost too much. Like the healthcare bill?
Well, of course not. Oh.